Hi, welcome to Stampin' with Nutsy. I just wanted to let you know that I'm on a couple minutes early. So I figured that last couple of minutes when I'm waiting and watching the clock drive me nuts. So I thought I'll just come on and wait for everyone to join me. I hope you're all doing well. What you drinking? I have got a cup of tea and it feels really good. Although our cold spell seems to be gone and our weather is much better. The snow's all melted. The little ice dam on the Nooksack River where it empties into the bay has melted, and so the water behind my house is all down to normal. And the nice thing is that it's a really high bank, so I don't really have to worry too much about the water coming up into my yard, which is very good, if you ask me. This tastes good. Anything else going on in my life? Harley is fun. Harley got put into house detention yesterday. He was out with his friend. It's my daughter's dog, Piper. And so they were outside, and Miss Muddy Feet loves to dig. And I looked outside yesterday and thought, seems to me I only see one white dog or light colored dog. What is going on out there? And so I went outside, stood on the porch, and Harley stood up, and he was blocking her as she dug a deep hole trying to escape the fence. So they both came in, wet, muddy, and smelling like dog. She's a Husky Shepherd mix, and Harley is a yellow lab. So it was a lot of dog to smell like dog. And I got them inside, let my daughter know that the Muddy Paws gang is in trouble. It has been now on house arrest. So Harley is taking it quiet today. He was very tired yesterday. He might have even helped with a little of the digging. So today he's just sleeping in the craft room, which is a good place for him because he's not getting into any trouble. And we'll fix the hole in the fence this weekend. I know, that's what's going on at my house. So I wanted to show you a couple of things before we got started. Let's see. The first is the Global SU Share Fair, which is a group I'm in. It's a customer appreciation, and those of you who are my customers are already in it. It goes for a year, a catalog year, and so we probably have one more after this. So January 13th at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, I'll be on with my presentation, and there's always wonderful projects. I thought I'd teach a technique with my card this time instead of a fun fold. So I hope you can join. The other thing I wanted to show you is my paper share. I'm going to do, oh, hi, Lori, you did make it on. It's good to see you. The paper share for 2023, it's from the January mini and celebration catalogs. If you're doing a porch pickup, it's $60.40. And if I mail it, it's $10 more, $70.40. I have one share already sold, 3 more, and I can start and order the paper and get that out. I'm very excited about it. The paper is beautiful. So I've used the By the Bay and the Flora and some of the celebration papers. And as I said, they're lovely. The next thing I wanted to show you is a few things on my desk. Oh, for the paper share, let me know if you're interested. PM me and I will get back to you and I can send you a PayPal invoice. I finally got that figured out. I'm feeling pretty good technology-wise. My host code for this month is over on the 31st, which is tomorrow, is the last day. It's 49MHT9VK. The codes are very interesting. I know some people make poems out of it, and I'm not quite that good at that. So I just keep it written down. Our new catalogs go live January 5th. I was a couple days early. So I can't show you the inside, but the celebration is always great. There's nothing I like more than free product. So for every $50 you order, you get to choose a free product. There's a couple in there for $100, and that's the U.S. market. Every country's money is just a little bit different. I can show you the catalogs out and in, but I can't show you what's inside it yet. So we're going to work with a product that's carrying over that will be, it's in the new mini, part of it. The bundle, the stamp set, and the dies are in it. It's fitting florets. Isn't that a gorgeous catalog? Also with Celebration though, we always have a special, so it's a great time to join. We have, notice this is our small mini, this is the mini cut and emboss machine in a brand new color, boho blue. And I have it on good authority, what was written in the catalog, that this is going to be one of our new in colors this year. And for joining, there you get to choose your special. Option 1 is to get the exclusive boho blue mini, which is a $63 value, and your choice of $175 of Stampin' Up! Products, all for $129. The other option is to get the white mini, with your choice of $175, also for $129. And the third option, if you don't need a mini cut and emboss machine, then to get the $175 of Stampin' Up! Products for $99. So that's a good deal. And I'd love to join you for my team. It's not quite purple. It really is a blue. I guess maybe it's a lavender blue. I don't know. It's really pretty. I really like it. The other thing I wanted to show you, I was going to keep that code out just in case you wanted to order. I received in the mail a couple of cards, and I wanted to share. Now, I don't celebrate Christmas, but I appreciate being thought of. And I got this lovely card from my friend Barb Markham. She went to On Stage with me. It's very pretty, but it wouldn't have to be Christmas. You could put any sentiment on that. Thinking of you, hope you're well, or get well. So I thought that would be fun. Oh, the catalog is purple. Yes, it is. That's what makes it so pretty. And the other card I received is I'm in a swap with some friends, and we swapped a Retiform card. And this is one way to make a Retiform card with multiple colors and this white space. Retiform means grid, basically. And so that's what it is. She gridded off with some masking tape and then colored in the grids and stamped on them. Mine, I didn't. My grid is a little different. And I saw one grid when I was looking at videos that was really interesting. They took like a small piece of cardstock and drew rectangles all over their card. And then each one of those was a different stamp. So it was very interesting. I believe that I said I was going to do a technique on the Share Fair. And I am going to do a technique. It is the Retiform technique. That's what I'm doing. So you'll see my take on it if you're at the Share Fair this January 13th next year. So let's get started. I wanted to show you first the card. The fitting florets or framed florets set is just lovely. And I've loved the paper and the gold swirls. Those items are not carrying over into the new year. So I thought I would make the most of them for this Goodbye to 2022 Facebook Live. Not a lot of stamping on this card. Oh, that's not its envelope. This is its envelope. This is holding all the bits and pieces of the card we're going to put together. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to put this up here. We'll cover up the host code. That's okay. On the inside of your Designer Series paper and the inside of your card is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches or 10 by 14.4 centimeters. And I just took and cut my Designer Series paper in half. not in half, but in two pieces. And they are, this is about 2 inches. Just eyeball it. I didn't want it to exactly in half, but I wanted a pretty good size piece. So I'll let you be the decision maker on that. I have a piece of the gold brushed foil. It's 4 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches, or 10.3 centimeters by 14.4 centimeters. Oh, I'm glad, Lori, you gave away this card. We did this card on my at a workshop earlier this month. And so I've got 2 kits left. I might as well tell you that now while I'm thinking about it. I have 2 kits left, little different color combination. Instead of Evening Evergreen, which is 5.5 by 8.5, or 14.9 centimeters by 21, scored and folded in half. It's Night of Navy and a different designer series paper. So I have 2 of those to give away. And what I would love to do is everyone, oh, hi, Lori. Thanks for joining us. I hope you're feeling okay. I was saying, I have those 2. So everyone who comments, I'm going to put you on the little random wheel I found online and pull 2 names and mail you the card kit. So that'll be fun. So comment and like, and if you would like to share this, I'll give you 2. Yeah. For everything you do, I will give you an extra entry into my drawing. Now, to start, we've got our pieces. This is going on the envelope. And I'm going to pull out all my bits and pieces. Because, yep, there they are. You will notice that out of my piece of gold, I cut the oval, the framed oval. And that works just perfectly because our designer series paper is going to go over that. And nobody will know what we've done. This is a very good thing. So I have it in gold. I cut a second one in our Whisper White because I'm going to mix up the pieces. I am going to put the white into the gold for the front of our card. And that's what I did on this one. We will be stamping it first. And instead of stamping the flowers and using blends, which is what I made everybody at the workshop do, I used this designer series paper. This is the one sheet where our dies fit, and you can cut out the lovely shapes, and you can use those instead of stamping and coloring. And that is what I chose to do. It is a beautiful sheet of paper. I really like it. Oh, I told you I was going to have a different color combination. Here it is. And I will include cut flowers in this one, in them to send to you. So let's get started. I think the first thing we're going to do is stamp the flower or the sentiment. And I'm using Evening Evergreen, which is one of the colors in the set. And I want to stamp it. I know that I want to put flowers over. So I want my stamp to be, let's see. I do always like to stamp it off just to make sure. Oh, looks good. I wanted the lower right-hand section of the card, of the oval. There we are. I really like that sentiment, and it's not in this set. The sentiment comes from Charming Sentiments, and I love Faith Over Fear. It is such an encouraging thought, and I think this is a beautiful set of sentiments. You can get it as a bundle. It comes with dies, and this was designed by Lisa Curcio. It was her $1 million set, and she on her website has a printout of all of the dies and sentiments and what goes together. So I took, and there's one, and then I put this on the back of the other magnet sheet so I would know what I'm doing. I know, what a thought. Know what I'm doing? Oh my. It would be good. So there we're stamped. I'm going to, as long as we're stamping, let's go ahead and do the inside. And then I'll put the inks away and not make a mess. I have the Evening Evergreen for the leaves. I've just got the smallest stamp in the set for flowers, and all I did was, I was lazy. I didn't feel like masking. So I just did 3 little flowers in the corner. And then I grabbed my Evening Evergreen ink and the leaves and put some leaves in coming down. It might have been nice if I had masked. They would have been a much tighter bundle. But as I said, when I was designing this one, I was feeling a little lazy, and I think that looks pretty. You could be a little more energetic than I am and do some masking and really make a beautiful little bouquet for there. Or you could use the already pre-cut flowers. And I'm going to grab my Stampin' Seal. I've got this little piece, it's about 1/2 inch wide by, that's about not quite 4 inches. Oh, need a little bit more. And I'm just going to put a little Designer Series paper here. On the paper, there's no real pattern, so it's okay to put them whatever way they work, just to keep things out of the way, because if you know me, you know I get a little overwhelmed if I've got too many pieces of papers everywhere. It's a little crazy. So let's go ahead and get the inside is done. We'll just put it in, and there's less for me to get confused with. Okay, now we'll go to work on the front. Put that there. One of the things I did was I very carefully put the white in the frame, trying to make sure it all fits perfectly. And it is possible to do this and to make it, and it stays. But it's not going to stay forever like that. So what I did was I turned it over. Oh, I didn't weed very well, did I? I left little bits of gold everywhere. Let me get those out. Here we are. I used my dimensionals. Oh, you haven't used this tape, the tape runner, Lori? It is the Stampin' Seal tape. I like it. The one thing you have to be careful of, though, is that it needs to break at the top. And so sometimes if I'm not careful, like I stand it up on the end, let me move my hand, and pull it up. And that keeps it working right. Otherwise, you just have to do a little advancing with your fingers. Had a little hair on that, sorry. I overlapped my stamping dimensional on the edge. So I caught the frame and the center. And I did that in 4 different spots. And I see I have one more. I have a couple more. I really didn't do a good job of weeding. Let me see if I can get this off of here. Finish getting all the bits and pieces out. And that one. There, I think we've got it. I'm just going to set this aside upside down. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because I didn't take the backs off. And work on the card front. Maybe I'll get the little pieces of gold off. Or not. And here we are. As I said, this is not going to make any difference at all. People won't know that you've done it this way. I'm just going to put a little bit of seal on it and a line, just a nice little edge. And this is like the kitchen wall that's got a chair rail across it and divides the wallpaper with something, or maybe a different wallpaper on the bottom. That's the look I was going for. So I just butted those up together where my two wallpapers meet. And then I used the Evening Evergreen ribbon. And I just want to run it across and tack it down in the back. So a little seal. And I found I'm happier if I can get that darker part of the ribbon across the seam. And this piece is a little longer than I normally would have used, but it was the very end of my roll. How much fun is that to actually use up a whole roll? Bringing out my silicone mat because I've still got glue on the backs and I don't want it to stick to anything because we're going to keep working on it. Now I can take and I can take my backs off the dimensionals and we can build the front from here. But once we've got this on. So there we are. And now, what do I want to use? I really like this one. So if I put this one here, and this one is also pretty. Maybe I could put this one. Oh, what do you think? Will that work? Do I have a yes? A no? I also have a smaller one I could use instead of that one. Okay, what do we think? Yep to the first one? Lori, that's good because that's what I was thinking, that would be really pretty right here. And I am just going to take a little seal, put on this, and tack it down because I don't want it to be, I want it to be loose. I want it to have life and movement, even though it's just a picture. This one looks like it was cut off of an edge. So I am going to just make that look a little more leaf-like. I like that better than that harsh. And this one can go, I'm going to overlap it with the top one a little bit. How about right here? And maybe instead of seal, I'll use glue dots. I do like glue dots. I'll just put a couple of them on. Because one of the things I want to do is Now I know this went in well, quite nicely, just a minute ago. Let's do that. And I do like curly leaves. I like it to move. I don't want it to look like it's just paper. So I've got a glue dot here, and I'm going to put it on a larger spot of the die that cuts out these gorgeous gold leaves. We'll put that one here, and I think I only have 2 cut out at the moment. That is one thing you can do with your gold inner circle or inner oval. If you wanted to, you could cut it out with, oh, hi Shirley. I didn't see you here. Nice to see you. You can just take this and cut all kinds of little leaves out. And the leaves in the set, it's got some open work leaves and dies. Let's see. Like these two, they actually go the opposite directions, which is fun. And now you know what I do. When I cut something out, I keep it with the set in a little plastic bag. So it's there next time I want to create. All right. Now I'm sure I was doing something. There it is. Oh my goodness. I want you to know that I have looked for these several times today. I think I'm going to put this one right in here. There. Our front is almost finished. It just needs some pretties. Oh, and here's what I do to keep my, I don't know, when I'm watching a video, I really get a kick out of seeing what everybody does. How do they corral the their ribbon? And so what I do, some use pins. I tried that. I didn't like that. I take a length of ribbon, tie a bow around it through the hole, and then I can just wind my ribbon up and put it on my shelf and it stays. So that's what I do with my ribbon. Yeah, a little bag of goodies in the case, Lori, is just, it's so much better than having them all over the place, may I say? As someone who has had them all over the place before. Okay, so I'm using these gold swirls, which I really like, and I'm really sorry aren't carrying over into the new catalog. And these ran out pretty early on, because I think everybody liked him and ordered lots. How's that? There is the front of our card. Now, it depends on if you're going to give this in person or are you going to mail it, whether you want to pop it or not. Oh, we can. We can put this on, but we're not done because we haven't made the envelope pretty. We have a pretty card. We have a pretty inside the card. And I think I am going to go ahead and pop it. I work at not making the post office too angry with me by making things so thick I can't mail them. I don't like to mess up their machines. Plus, mail has not been exactly great lately. I'm still waiting for one of my swap cards. It was a cascading card in this group I'm in. And I was so excited about it. And it still hasn't come. And I know she mailed it probably 3 or 4 weeks ago. So I'm hoping it shows up. If not, I'm going to ask her if she would just email me a picture. So here we are. We'll put this on with our dimensionals. We have a pretty front of our card. We have a pretty inside that we can write in. And now we need to have a pretty envelope to send it in. And, oh, pop it. Yes, Lori. Oh, thanks, Shirley. I'm glad you like my ideas. When I look at the cards I make, I think I tend to make a lot of feminine cards. And so I need to work on the male cards. Because men need encouragement too. Now, I have a 6-inch, it's a 6x4 sheet of designer series paper because that's what I cut my card fronts to. It's a little bigger than I need. And I do try to make sure this is well adhered. Because again, making the post office angry at this time does not seem like a good idea. And then I just trim around the envelope flap. And now I'm going to get up for just a moment and cut off a little strip of paper. So while I do that, I promise I won't be long. It's just right behind me. Here we are, all trimmed off. And I will put my glue on this one. Not going quite to the ends. Because I can always add just a little bit of glue at the end if I need to. Here we are. And now we have a pretty envelope to mail it in. Oh, you need 7 cards for men. You know, the retiform technique, the card I did for that, I think that's a nice man card. Okay, trimmed off, and we are ready to go. Let me get some of this extra stuff out of the way so we are not looking at all the junk. So here's card number 1. I just did a strip up the side, bits and pieces. Oh, if you've got designer series paper that you're cutting the flowers out of, be sure to cut some off of the edges too, because those are useful. Okay. And the card we created today. Now, oh, Zana, yes, embossing the flap is really nice. I don't do that too often. I really should try that. What sets have I got? Today I've got framed florets, and I put it out almost out of reach. Ah, here it is. Charming sentiments. Because my favorite sentiment is this faith over fear. Anyway, so good to see everybody. Thank you for coming by. I think that's it. On January 1st, I will do the little wheel of the random wheel that I found on Facebook and figured out how to use. And until then, I wish you all happy crafting and thank you for joining me today. Talk to you later. Oh, talk to you next year.